All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the Moore County Schools Board of Education regular business meeting for Monday, May 12th, 2025 at 4 p.m. Is there a motion to go into closed session for the purposes as stated on the agenda? All right, motion by Ms. Davis. Is there a second? Second by Dr. Dahl. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. We'll now go into closed session. Welcome to the Moore County Schools Board of Education regular business meeting for Monday, May 12th at 5:30 p.m. Is there a motion to come out of closed session and into open session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. We are now in open session. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I actually want to make a motion to amend the agenda, please. If we could move down to section 6, board action. Item C, approval to renew iReady contract for the 25-26 school year. Item D, Northmore High School's old gym and auditorium roof repair and replacement. And item E, McDeeds Creek playground equipment. I would like to move those to the consent agenda because they're all standard things that don't necessarily require board action tonight. And since we do have to go back into closed session, that we could save some time.
Okay, I also would like to point out that we did have a work session in which these items were talked about and reviewed. There is a motion to amend the agenda to move items C, D, and E to the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Mr. Benway. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Nay,
All right, motion carries 6-1.
except I object to him being on the consent agenda.
Okay. All right. Help me out.
If
So anyone can remove something, so they just go back.
Okay. So you want to put all three back on the agenda as,
Yeah, I don't see any reason to modify the agenda.
okay.
So yes, let's just leave it the way it is.
All right, that is your prerogative. So at this time, is there a motion to approve the agenda? All right, there's a second? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, the agenda stands. At this time, we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance and inspiration. Principal Lockamy, would you please provide the introductions?
I would love to. Thank you so much. I am so pleased and blessed to be able to introduce to you three of our fifth grade warriors. All three of these young gentlemen and young ladies are members of our safety patrol at West End. And we have Carson and Dylan who will be doing the pledge, and we have Addison who will be doing our inspiration.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Today I am going to talk about who inspires me most. That special person is my sister, Reagan Deaton. Reagan is a senior in high school and is going to UNC Chapel Hill. She and I also dance together, and I look up to her not only as a dancer, but also as someone who is going to college to be a doctor. I hope that when I get older, I will be as responsible and mature as her. She also helps around my school when they have activities, and she also works every Tuesday at our church food pantry where they put food into boxes, and people who are struggling or can't afford food can come and get a box for free. Those are the reasons I look up to my sister and the reasons she inspires me. Thank you.
All right. At this time, we'll have our moment of silence.
All right, if you'll join me for a moment of silence, and we will, of course, be observing that Memorial Day is coming up in a few weeks, and just keep that holiday in your mind. Thank you.
All right, we're at item 3, recognitions. I'd like to invite Mr. Batchelor forward to help us with our recognitions.
Thank you, Board Chair. First, could we have our Carson, Dylan, and Addison please join Board Member Benway and Board Member Dahl at the front? As a token of appreciation, we are presenting these students with certificates for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance and providing a wonderful inspiration to us this evening. And as we get started, I would like to say we do have a packed house tonight. So after we present our recognitions, if everyone will please stay till the end after we finish everyone, then we'll pause. First, can we have our recognition honorees from West End Elementary School please join Board Member Benway and Dr. Dahl at the front. Amanda Toner is this month's Engage, Inspire, Succeed Certified Staff Honoree for West End Elementary School. Mrs. Toner is a champion for every student, working tirelessly to understand and support their diverse needs, academically and emotionally. In addition to individual counseling, she creates a positive school climate with engaging activities that foster community. Her genuine passion lies in seeing students succeed and celebrating their achievements. Her unwavering encouragement and dedication help create a nurturing environment where students feel seen, supported, and empowered to thrive. Lori Brewer is this month's Engage, Inspire, Succeed Support Staff Honoree for West End Elementary School. Lori is the unsung hero, ensuring our school operates seamlessly. She manages student records, attendance, and state reporting with precision and care. Always a team player, she supports staff with data needs and does so with a consistently positive attitude. Her love for our school shows in her dedication and her ability to foster a welcoming, supportive environment for students and colleagues. Her meticulous work and collaborative spirit are invaluable to our success. With family members and Principal Lockamy, please stand as we recognize tonight's honorees. And next, would Jen and Kathy from West Pine Elementary School please join Board Member Benway and Board Member Dr. Dahl at the front. Jen Cuff is this month's Engage, Inspire, Succeed Certified Staff Honoree for West Pine Elementary School. Jen, a third grade teacher and West Pine Elementary's 2025-26 Teacher of the Year, is a Meredith College graduate who has taught since 2001. She has served in kindergarten, second, and third grades and has positively impacted West Pine Elementary since joining in 2016. Jen is a valued member of the school improvement team, assists with the robotics team, and teaches summer reading camp. Her collaborative spirit, dedication, and positivity make her a vital part of the West Pine Elementary community and a beloved colleague to all. Kathy Bryant is this month's Engage, Inspire, Succeed Support Staff Honoree for West Pine Elementary School. After years of being self-employed, Kathy joined West Pine Elementary as a second grade teacher assistant in 2023, driven by her passion for helping children grow. She loves the joy of students' faces when learning clicks, especially in second grade, where independence blossoms, but support is still cherished. She lives in Cameron with her husband and 3 dogs and enjoys time with her 2 sons and grandson. Her nurturing heart and commitment make her a treasured member of the West Pine Elementary family. Will family members and Principal McLean please stand as we recognize tonight's honorees. If Megan and Penelope from West Pine Middle School, please join Board Member Dr. Dahl and Board Member Benway at the front. Megan Jones is this month's Engage Inspires to Succeed, a certified staff honoree for West Pine Middle School. Ms. Jones is a dedicated special education teacher who works tirelessly to support student success. Whether teaching in small groups, pushing into classrooms, or collaborating with peers, her passion for education is clear. Known for her smile and kind words, she builds strong relationships with students and families alike. She also volunteers at the Wildcat concession stand and supports PBIS events. A true servant leader, Ms. Jones is a blessing to West Pine Middle and our community. Penelope McCaskill is this month's Engage Inspires to Succeed support staff honoree for West Pine Middle School. Mrs. McCaskill is an exceptional custodian who keeps West Pine Middle among the cleanest schools in Moore County. And she also drives a school bus each day. Her dedication to keeping the building clean and students safe does not go unnoticed. She ensures students start and end their day on a positive note with kindness and care. Her reliability, patience, and friendly attitude make her an essential part of our school family. We are grateful for all that she does. Would family members and Principal Swafford please stand as we recognize tonight's honorees. Elisa from Connect Academy, please join Board Member Benway and Board Member Dr. Dahl at the front. Elisa Likens is this month's Engage Inspires to Succeed student honoree. Elisa is an exemplary student with straight A's and a 4.0 unweighted GPA. She will graduate having completed the Emergency Medical Science program at Sandhills Community College and plans to begin work as an EMT. Elisa also coaches gymnastics, teaches piano, and tutors biology at Sandhills Community College. She has served in multiple leadership roles at her church, including class president, youth camp leader, and congregation chorister. Elisa is a model citizen, and we are incredibly proud of all she has accomplished during her time as a Moore County School student. With family members and Principal Bird, please stand as we recognize tonight's honoree. We have more. We have more. Just stay where you're at. All right, at this time, we would like to call all elementary students being recognized for their artwork up to the front. And for those who are unable to make tonight's meeting, they will be given their artwork at a later date on behalf of the Board of Education. Last year, the following students were selected to represent their schools with their artwork displayed in the boardroom of the central office for the 2024-2025 school year. Mika Dudley from Aberdeen, Meredith Gonzalez from Cameron, Gia Blake from Carthage, Desiree Hill from High Falls, Mark Dwyer from McDeeds Creek, Luca Pinter from Pinehurst, Brittany Avila Reyes from Robbins, Madeline Spencer from Sandhills Farm Life, Noriah King from Southern Pines, Annalise Craven from Vast Lake View, Dominique Thomas from West End, Wyatt Davis from West Pine, and Nirvana Kinley from Westmore. Would family members please stand as we recognize all of our talented elementary artists? You got. I don't know if they can shake hands. I said I don't think they can shake hands, but they can show us. And now we would like to call up all of our middle and high school students being recognized for their artwork as well. Do we have any other middle or high school students being recognized for their artwork? All right. Last year, the following students were selected to represent their schools with their artwork displayed in the boardroom at the central office for the 2024-2025 school year. Mixed up my sheets, sorry. Here we are. Bexida Nufio Garcia from Cranes Creek, Aylin Pure Peralta from Elise, Promise Dockery from New Century, Addison Blanchett from Southern, Ashlyn Hall from West Pine, Jonas Angelis from Northmore, Kenny Williamson from Pinecrest, and Lyndon Sprouse from Union Pines. For those who are unable to attend tonight's meeting, their artwork will be presented to them on behalf of the Board of Education at a later date. Would family members please stand as we recognize all of our talented secondary artists. And last but not least, we would like to call up all of our volunteers from Area 2 to come up to the front and join Board Member Dr. Dahl and Board Member Ben Way. All right, before we begin, we'd like to take a moment just to reflect on the history of the Eileen Van Sant Volunteer Award, which honors a legacy of selfless dedication to the children of our schools. Eileen Van Sant began her career as an educator in a one-room schoolhouse teaching grades 1 through 8. She devoted over 40 years to education before retiring to Southern Pines in 1995. Even in retirement, her passion for service never wavered. At the age of 81, she began volunteering at Southern Pines Elementary, demonstrating her steadfast commitment to education. In 2003, she was recognized with the North Carolina Governor's Award, and following her passing in 2004, our then volunteer coordinator, Linda Hubbard, established this award in her honor. Today, we are privileged to have a special guest with us, with Mrs. Van Sant's son, Russ also known as Buzz Van Sant, please stand. Thank you for being with us today. Moore County Schools is incredibly fortunate to have a strong and dedicated volunteer community. While you support our schools in many ways, perhaps the most meaningful role you play is serving as an example of servant leadership for our students. Your contributions enrich our schools, and we sincerely appreciate the time, talents, and energy you so generously give. Now, as we celebrate the 22nd annual recognition of Eileen Van Sant's legacy, we are honored to present this year's Area 2 Volunteer Award recipients. Myra Ramirez de Paz from Elise Middle School, Shelby Wilson from High Falls Elementary School, Karen Dunn from Northmore High School, Lucy Salazar from Robbins Elementary School, and Connie Mae Bramey from Westmore Elementary School. When family members and principals, please stand as we recognize our Area 2 volunteers. Thank you, Mr. Ridgway. Thank you, Dr. Dahl. And at this time, I'd like to turn it back over to Board Chair Calcutt.
Congratulations, and we're just so honored to have you all here tonight. Thank you for being here, and congratulations on your recognitions. And at this time, we'll take a brief recess. Okay, I'd like to call the Board of Education meeting back into session. At this time, we're at item 4, consent agenda, and I need to request a motion for me to be recused from item 4F.
So moved. Or
So you make a motion.
make a motion to recuse Ms. Robin Calcutt, Dr. Robin Calcutt, from voting for item 4F.
Okay, do we have a second?
I will second.
All in favor, say aye. All right, this time I would like to request for a motion to approve item 4F, and I will not vote on this item. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second? We are working to approve the consent agenda item 4F without me voting.
The personnel report.
So I had to recuse myself. So now I'd like for you to consider approving the personnel report. Because I can vote on the other things. All right, so with that being said, all in favor of item 4F on the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, it passes. All right, at this time, I'd like to have a motion to approve the consent agenda, items A, B, C, D, E, and G. So at this time, do we have a motion?
So moved.
All right, motion by Ms. Davis. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Bruno. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. All right, at this time, do we have any speakers?
We do not.
Okay. Thank you very much. We're at item 6, board action. And I would like to remind everyone that we did have a work session last Monday, May 5th, and we had a very good meeting. We reviewed, we discussed these items, and so we'll have a brief summary. Dr. Locklear, I'd like to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, this first item, endorsement of puberty and reproductive health and safety education curriculum. I'm pleased to just remind the board that we did have a great presentation from Ms. Gephardt and Dr. Metcalf, and appreciate the two board liaisons that also met with Dr. Metcalf and Ms. Gephardt to discuss it. These are essentially just revisions to the curriculum that we already had. Just want to remind the board and our public that our curriculum is forward-facing. It all can be viewed online. And I also just wanted to quickly remind our board and the public that we require parent opt-in or opt-out. We require some commitment from parents before their children attend this class, whether that be opting into it or opting out of it for an alternative assignment. So again, appreciate the work on these minor revisions based on new state standards. I did want to give the opportunity, if the two board liaisons that did meet with Dr. Metcalf and Ms. Gephardt wanted to say anything, Vice Chair Davis and Ms. Bruno, if you wanted to say anything before we turned it back over to you, Madam Chair, but it does come with my recommendation. Ms. Bruno?
Are they going to present?
No, ma'am, we don't have any presentation.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I do want to say something. I requested that this not be on the consent agenda because I really wanted the public to hear about this. It is the puberty and reproductive health and safety education curriculum. Shannon. Shannon and I were in on this committee, and I have to tell you, this is absolutely, this curriculum, I loved it. And you know how I am. If I did not like this curriculum about sex and health and everything, I would have been yelling, but this is absolutely really good. The teachers are requested to stay on script. So they cannot go this way or this way. They have to say what's on the script. They will be separated. There will be 2 adult men with the boys and 2 adult women with the girls. So everything that is supposed to be said is going to be said. They have videos which are extremely powerful. I loved it. I thought everything was very appropriate. The most important thing to me was their teaching about putting things on the web that are going to follow you your whole entire life. And everybody knows how important this is, how important it is for your future, for your career. And kids really need to be talked to about this, and children really need to understand how dangerous this is. So I was very thrilled with that. The other thing, and according to the General Assembly now, in the public schools, human trafficking has to be taught. And I thought this was done very well done. It explained everything to the children. I went to Legislation Day last week in Raleigh at the Capitol, and over again, our representatives came out and stressed human trafficking. Apparently, North Carolina is 10th in the nation on human trafficking. And every single day, we were told that there are over 500,000 people on the web looking for children between the ages of 9 and 13. So our children need to know this. This is important. And the way that Dr. Metcalf and Donna handle this, I think it's absolutely beautiful. I'm 100% behind this curriculum. Like I said, if I had any doubt at all, I would say something, but it's good, it's solid, and I want parents to know that don't be afraid of this. This is good. That's all. Thank you.
All right, do we have a motion to endorse the modified East Carolina University materials to teach puberty and reproductive health and safety education?
So moved.
All right, motion by Mr. Benway. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, second by Dr. Dahl. Any comments?
I just wanted to comment and say I wasn't able to make the work session last week, and I really appreciated the presentation and also especially the comments from Pauline and Shannon in support, because that really helped me to kind of feel confident with this vote. So,
You should.
thank you.
It was good. It's good.
I fully support Pauline's puberty program. If Pauline's for it, I'm for it.
All right,
I just want to
yes, ma'am.
thank our liaisons for the
Yes.
thorough scrutiny that they gave the program and the amount of work that they put in to do that.
Yeah. I guess the only thing that I would add is that Pauline and myself, or at least myself, that we wanted to take this very seriously, because it's a serious thing that we're teaching, and it's children that we're teaching it to. And there's a fine line, a balance between too little and too much, and it is safe for the children, but also to reemphasize that if parents are not comfortable, we give them every opportunity to have them elect for their child not to participate. So it's fully in the parents' hands. If they feel like little Johnny or Susie Q is not ready to know about things, then they don't have to.
All right. Seeing no further comments, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. We're at item B.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the approval of purchase Eureka Math Squared, a K-8 math curriculum. Just as a reminder, the previous math curriculum that was approved by the board a few years ago was Big Ideas Math, which was a K-5 math curriculum. There's been effort over really for several months, over a year, to look at a curriculum that would serve our schools from K-8. This Eureka Math is being recommended by myself and our team. I want to thank Donna and her team for their work, working with our teachers, getting their input across our schools. And this would be to implement this in 16 of our 18 K-8 schools. And that would be funded through our state textbook fund, which accrues yearly. We receive almost $500,000 a year from the state for this purpose, to purchase our curriculums and our resources. So greatly appreciate the work that was done on this, and this does come with my recommendation. Certainly can answer questions if needed.
All right, is there a motion to approve the purchase of Eureka Math Squared curriculum for the next 3 years?
So moved.
All right, motion by Ms. Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Dahl. Are there any comments?
I have a couple questions, Ms. Gephardt. So how long have we been using this?
Last year was the first time we piloted the
Right.
program. We had
Yep.
a couple, 6 places that did a version, in some areas of K-5.
Yep.
And then we had a couple middle schools. We actually started middle school the year before in October, so we really didn't get full implementation until January. So the first full year would be the 24-25 school year, which is why we are asking for a 3-year pilot, to give us more time to really analyze data and make sure that we're following the data and that this is the right program for our students.
Do we have any preliminary results from the half semester, half school year that we did it, or feedback?
In our middle schools, which started it for the half semester, all of our middle school math composite scores were up from the previous year. So in 23-24,
Yep.
the math scores for middle school, all of the middle school composites were better in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
And the faculty likes it, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir.
And then finally, what's the cost of this compared to what it's replacing?
When we purchased Big Ideas in 2000,
Yep.
the cost for just a K-5 math program was around $600,000 was what the district used with the state book text monies to purchase it. So that was, again, a K-5. This being a startup of a K-8, which means as we had to buy teachers' editions, the teacher resources. So as we continue, hopefully, if this is the right program for our children, we would be able to just have to only purchase the student textbook.
Yeah, so it's basically comparable in cost.
Yes,
Sounds
sir.
like it. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any comments?
Well, yeah, just a couple. First, thanks for that information. That was really good. I'm a huge fan of piloting curriculum materials with teachers. I think that's absolutely the way to go. It builds confidence. It builds buy-in from staff whenever you try to roll it out countywide. And so thank you for that and expanding on that. So I'll follow up real quick because that $600,000, was that for 3 years as well for Big Ideas?
That was for a 5-year program for Big Ideas. So it
Gotcha.
was a 5-year contract. The more you go, the longer the contract, the better your price.
Gotcha. The other question I had was, you had mentioned it's a K-8 pilot. So how many, is every grade level represented in the pilot moving forward in the next 3 years?
Yes, sir. And that was one of the things we wanted to ensure is that we had a good representation. So we have CLC, Connect Academy. We have 3 middle schools, and the remaining 13 are elementary for either K-5 totally or some grade levels.
All right. Any idea of how many total classrooms about in the 16 schools? I'm just curious to.
In the 13 elementary, so I'm going to try to put this in perspective. In the 13 elementary schools, all are K-5 except 2, and they are 3 grade levels each. So if you take most of our classrooms, I'm just going to round about 5, so 5 per grade level, so roughly 30 classes in elementary school times that. You're gonna make me do math on the spot, Steve. That's sort of scary.
That's
I would rather us,
that's part of the
Well,
approval
yeah.
process.
Ms. Gephardt, I would rather us follow up with that information.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah. That,
Versus
yeah.
guess, I'd rather us follow up. I
Thank
think.
you.
Right. That sounds good. Thank you. And
Because I can't do math either,
Right.
so I'd rather
Thank
us
you, Dr.
follow up.
Locklear, for saving me.
Well, I
I needed to
appreciate
read
it,
that.
and yeah, the curriculum is so costly and so expensive, and we know that. And I know you guys plan for that years in advance and accrue funds. And so thank you for doing that good planning and making sure we're staying on top of it. So thank you.
All right. Yes, ma'am?
Yeah, and I said this at the workshop too, that when Donna introduced this last year, I was really iffy about this program because there was a lot of reading in those math books, and I was very concerned about children who reading is not up to par. So I went to the teachers and asked them what they thought, and it was 100%. They wanted it. They loved it. So, yes from me.
All right. Thank you very much. Seeing no further comments, all those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, passes. Thank you very much. All right. Item C, please, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is, you're not off the hook yet, Donna. This is approval to renew, approval to renew iReady contract for the 25-26 school year. iReady is our diagnostic tool that we use in grades K through 8. We've used it since 2021 district-wide. This is required by the state of North Carolina that we have a diagnostic tool, and so that's why we've implemented this. ESSER funding allowed us to implement it district-wide, and this is to continue it another year. We're able to use braided funding because it's required by the state. We use Title I federal funding for a portion of this, and then textbook funding for the other portion, and this comes with my recommendation.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the renewal of iReady contract for the 2025-2026 school year? Motion by Ms. Davis. Do we have a second? All right, second by Mr. Johnson. Are there any comments? All right, seeing no further comments, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
All right, we're at item D.
And Ms. Purvis will be joining us. This is for the Northmore High School Old Gym Auditorium roof repair and replacement. Mrs. Purvis presented on this at our work session, and there was a question about warranties, and she was able to respond to that, and the Gallagher Management Group has quite a few of those out there, and so we were able to give some data on that to the board, so appreciate Ms. Purvis sharing that out. But it does come with my recommendation that we approve this repair of the Northmore High School gym and award the contract to Gallagher Management Group in the amount of $458,000.
All right, is there a motion to award the bid for the repair replacement of the roof of the old gym and auditorium at Northmore High School to Gallagher Management Group in the amount of $458,000? All right, motion by Dr. Dahl. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Bruno. Are there any comments? Seeing no further comments, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, Ms. Purvis is with us as well, is the Medici Creek Playground Equipment. This is for the purchase of additional playground equipment. Once we've gone through all of the construction situations, there are earmarked funds for Medici Creek Elementary School still remaining. And so the recommendation here is that $126,473.42 from county funds are used to purchase additional playground equipment from Medici Creek Elementary, and they also have $71,866.08 from after-school daycare and PTA funds to utilize to purchase equipment, and does come with my recommendation.
Okay. Is there a motion to award the bid for the new playground equipment at McDeeds Creek to Creative Playscapes in the amount of $198,339.50? Do we have a motion? All right. Motion by Ms. Davis. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Bruno. Are there any comments?
Questions.
Okay.
So it was mentioned, I'm just kind of wondering how we got here. So it was mentioned that these funds were tied to McDeeds Creek. So these funds have to be spent on McDeeds Creek.
Yes, sir.
How are they tied to
This
McDeeds
is from the
Creek?
bond. This is from the
This is from the bond money when the
Right.
school was built, so they were earmarked specifically for McDeeds Creek. What a lot of people don't realize is that when we construct a school, the playground is not a part of that bid. And so that's usually additional. That's usually held off until the end. It's not part of the FF&E, furniture, fixtures, equipment. At the time that they put that playground in, it's a nice playground, but it's undersized for the amount of students that they have there now. So we held off on spending any more of those funds. That was prior to my arrival here and some of yours because of the litigation that we had going on there.
Right.
Now that that is settled and put to the side, we know that this $126,000 is needed, not needed for anything else in terms of litigation, and that can be spent by the school. We did something similar at Northmore, you'll remember, with installing that self-contained playground, because we didn't install it at the time of the build because we needed to make sure we were having other things finished before we did that.
So just to be clear, we're required because of the terms of the referendum to spend this money on McDeeds Creek.
Correct. It cannot be transferred to anywhere else.
Okay. the reason I bring it up is my only concern is, why McNeeds Creek? I mean, or is it in worse shape than others, or, why did we, are there other ones that we should have prioritized ahead of time? But if we're required to spend the money on McNeeds Creek, I have no objection to this.
Yes, sir, we are.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Well,
Yes.
Oh, wait.
no, I just, well, I just, to kind of follow up on that, just ensuring, I'm sure this is part of your planning process for Carthage Elementary, and making sure that because that's a lot of money for the PTA to,
Mr. Johnson, we will have playgrounds ready on day one when they open. How's that?
and they'll be big enough.
And they'll be big enough. We will do
We'll
it.
make sure
That
that
will be our
happens.
goal.
I'm sure it is. I know that's on the radar, but just want to make sure that that's the thing. And would that case be the same as only, just because I'm curious, as far as a bond issue, if a bond issue doesn't occur, then those restrictions would not be in place, those types of,
Correct.
okay. All right. Thank
So currently, we have just a couple $1,000s at Aberdeen. That was a bond issue. So that will need to be spent there, and we'll make sure it is. But because it was a bond, it is earmarked for that and must only be spent there.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right, seeing no further comments, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Item F.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This last item is request for lottery funds to support New Carthage Elementary land purchase and design and planning. Ms. Purvis presented on this at our work session. And I am on this one because it is of particular interest, Ms. Purvis. If you could just give us a quick
I
review
sure will.
of how this works and what we'll, if the board approves tonight, be bringing to the commissioners on the 20th.
Sure will. First of all, I'll just tell you, we haven't used any of our lottery funds in several years, so those have been building up. There are two types of lottery funds that we have. We have capital building lottery fund as well as repair and renovation. For the items that we're looking at tonight, we can only use capital lottery funds. We currently have $5,956,544 in our capital lottery. Now, when we make a draw from our lottery funds, it is a no harm. And that means if we draw too much and we don't use it, it can go right back into our lottery fund. If we make a draw and it's not enough and we see that, land costs a little bit more or architects cost a little bit more than we're planning on, we can again request more money. The state takes our request on the 25th of every month, and we expect the money to be in the account with the county in about 2 weeks. So what we have put on our request, Charlie, if you would please click on the attachment for me. This is the request that we will submit to DPI pending county commissioner's approval after yours. If you'll scroll down for me, sir. Purchase of land, we're asking for $550,000 to go towards that. And then planning and design services, $1.4 million. You'll ask, where did we get these prices? So when we're looking at the price of land over the last year in the areas that we're looking, per acre, it's anywhere from $8,000 to $13,000 an acre. If we do the math, that's looking at, hey, we could be about 42 acres. We may end up with a little less, we may end up with more, depending on the parcels that we find and the suitability of the land. But this is a really great starting point. If we were to find land that we want, this holds it for us, maybe even purchases it for us. If it's more than this, we can request more. When we're looking at planning and design services, I went back to the last 4 schools that we built. $1.4 million was the lowest amount that we spent on planning and design services, and that was 5 years ago. So I started with the lowest amount. Why did I do that when we know things cost more? The reason is because we've asked all of our architectural firms to present us with prototypes. We're doing that in an effort to expedite the process as well as save money. So again, if we do not spend this $1.4 million, we send it right back. Any other questions?
Just saying, it comes to my recommendation. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Do we have a motion to approve the request for $1,950,000 in lottery funds contingent on approval of the Moore County Board of Commissioners on May 20th, 2025? Do we have a motion? Okay, motion by Ms. Davis, second by Mr. Johnson. All right. Are there any comments?
I just have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Purvis. You know, $1.4 million, a lot of money for design fees. Is that including, the percentage that they get on the total project value, or is that just the check for design
It is
services?
the total, and that isn't just design. When we think about planning, we're
Yeah.
also gonna have to have wetland study. We're gonna have to have land studies. So that's not just our architectural fees, that's all of the planning that goes into it, not just the architect.
Does that, but
So
the
in other words,
last few schools, the architect got a percentage of the total value of the project, right?
correct,
Do you remember what that percentage was?
about 7,
7%. So does that include the 7%?
it does.
7% of a $30 million project would be $2.1 million.
That was our total for design and
Yeah.
planning.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
have to
I
go back and
just-
dig on it for you, but
yeah.
that was, we had 1.4 and our highest was 2.8.
Okay, all right, thank you. But this is stuff we'll discuss in our
It
committee
is.
when we
It is.
pick our, yeah, just.
And we've
yeah.
yet to see if this firm that we select will be a percentage or a flat rate.
I'd rather do a flat rate.
So we have that option to discuss, and we'll be looking into that further.
Yeah, we don't want to incentivize the architect to gold plate the
No,
buildings.
sir.
Yeah, okay.
Any other comments? All right, seeing no further comments, all those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you very much. All right, we are at item G.
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair. This is for the approval of the 2026-2027 Moore County Schools calendar. Certainly, as we discussed in the work session, appreciate Ms. Sinan's work and Ms. Fall's work with our calendar committee, putting together 2 calendars for the board to review. One, the traditional start calendar, which aligns with current North Carolina school calendar law, and one that we've called early start calendar, which would allow us to start earlier in August in order to finish first semester for high school testing before Christmas, and then get out earlier in May. As we know, that does not follow the law. When we put out a survey, we had 943 respondents, and as we saw, well over about three quarters certainly in favor of that early start calendar. There's current legislation on the table right now that's been approved by each side of the General Assembly. House Bill 121 has been approved that would give almost total flexibility to boards of education to choose their own start and ending dates of the calendar, as long as they met total hours or days in the calendar, 1,025 hours or, 1,025 hours or 185 days. Senate Bill 754 has been approved in the Senate. This has some small additional flexibility, but it does not give us enough flexibility really to enable us to be able to finish that first semester before Christmas, and it requires each semester to be equal number of days, and that really tightens what you're able to do when you're trying to accomplish getting those 1,025 hours in as well. My recommendation is with what Ms. Sinan presented last week, which is that we approve the traditional start calendar that follows the law, but I very much understand the frustration around this law, very much understand the desire of our parents and families to want to have a more flexibility with our calendar, but I am recommending the one that follows our current law. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to adopt the traditional calendar which follows General Statute Law 115C-84.2, the North Carolina Calendar Law? Is there a motion?
So moved.
All right, motion by Ms. Davis. Is there a second? Second by Dr. Dahl. Are there any comments?
Oh, yes.
You want to begin, Ms.
I'm going to
Bruno?
begin because I absolutely hate this. I think this is so unfair to our kids and our teachers and to this school. It just really bothers me that I have to vote for such a stupid, ridiculous bill that comes out of Raleigh that they don't have any know-how about our own school, our own community. I really have trouble with this. That's all I have to say.
All right.
I
Tell
don't
us how you really feel.
like it.
All right, thank you, Ms. Bruno.
That's really how I feel.
All right. All right, any other comments?
Yeah, I've got it. Go ahead, Steve. No, I'll go first. I'll go. So I have a few comments. So this is politics at its worst, and I've said this every year for the last 3 years, but I have additional information because it's not just trying to extend the vacation season. Why Senator Berger single-handedly is holding up and hurting the education of every public school child in North Carolina. It's not just trying to get additional days rentals on the coast. It's to keep child labor in place to service those people. Because if the students are in school, then they're not working for, minimum wage in the resorts and the restaurants and stuff on the beach. So this is not just to extend the tourist season, it's to ensure they have an endless supply of child labor to slave away at those hospitality places. So politics at its worst. And here's how it harms. That, again, as I said, this punishes every single public school student in North Carolina, and it does it in several ways. One way is it's impossible to end the semester before the Christmas break. Every single public school system in the United States, I think, except for North Carolina, the semester's end before the Christmas break. And then it starts again after the holiday. This serves two purposes. One is it's a break. Students are supposed to drop their pack, go enjoy vacation, enjoy their family, get a little mental health break. Instead, because of Senator Berger and his cronies and the tourism lobby, those students, instead of being able to relax and take a mental health break over the holidays, they're worried about midterm or finals and final papers and all that stuff. They don't get to drop their pack. And secondly, as has been demonstrated, there's learning loss, and the end of semester exams happen after the break, and that contributes 2 to 3 point decrease in the end of semester grades. So why is this happening? Why is North Carolina the only state to make its public schools not take a break over the holidays? One person, that is Republican President Phil Berger and the tourism lobby. That's it. And he makes no bones about it. He doesn't even try to hide that it's the contributions from the tourism lobby that causes this, and every single public school student in North Carolina suffers. So what they did was they put up a bill. The Senate put up a bill to act like they were fixing it, but really it made it worse. So first of all, the Senate bill that was passed by the Senate doesn't fix the problem. They extended it by a few days, but because of the rules that they put in place, the first semester cannot end before the holiday break. So they put up a fake bill that doesn't solve the problem, but it's even worse than that because it makes it worse. The fake bill, which pretends to solve the problem, in addition to not solving the problem, it does two things. It gives the superintendent of the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction, it empowers the bureaucracy because it gives the superintendent of North Carolina Public Instruction, currently a radical Democrat, power to punish administratively, just take funds away from any school district that dares to disobey the calendar law. No conservative would put that in a bill. No Republican should put that in a bill. And no Republican should vote for a bill that empowers the bureaucratic state to punish independent elective bodies. So that's the first thing it does. The second thing that this bill that Berger and his cronies pass act like they're fixing the problem, but really they're making it worse because it gives people standing to sue who normally wouldn't be able to sue. So it allows, let's say this school district passed a non-conforming law. Under this law, pending bill by Senator Berger, this fake bill, in addition to giving a bureaucrat at the North Carolina, the bureaucracy, the ability to take our funds, it also gives people who normally wouldn't be able to sue us the power to sue us. That's not what Republicans are about. That's not what conservatives are about. But this shouldn't be a Republican or Democrat thing. I have never met anyone in academia who likes this split calendar. Everybody's universally against it, but we're letting one man, by the way, the guy who tried to sneak in legalized casinos in his district and legalize marijuana last time, one man getting paid off by the tourism lobby is doing this to all the public school children in North Carolina. It's not right, and it needs to stop. And it's been this way since I've been on the school board, and it needs to stop. Anyway, thank you.
All right. All right, any other comments?
Maybe I should have gone first.
Yeah.
Do I have to vote?
Yeah.
I have to vote.
Yeah.
Okay. This is very hard for me to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so when I was campaigning for the board, this came up a lot. And as an educator, someone that's been in the school system, completely agree with the feelings. Just want to kind of state that as this was on the agenda a couple months ago, when we kind of got the survey in the works, I was fully prepared to vote for the early start, just because I feel like a representative of parents up here, as a parent of students myself, and it's just what's best for kids. I mean, it's just plainly what's best for kids, and when you have an opportunity to do what's best for kids, you should take it. However, in the months preceding, as Mr. Hensley alluded to, if you haven't had a chance to read the bills, please go read them, because I fully agree that that bill in the Senate is targeted, and it's not to solve any problems. It's to make it harder for school boards to do what's right for kids. And I don't approve of that at all. But I feel like in this vote, I will vote for the traditional calendar, because I certainly don't want to put us in the kind of jeopardy that was just described. I do appreciate the fact that we can come back to this once these bills kind of get consolidated and we get some information on what they actually are and putting into law. I would love to come back to this in a positive note, but I'll be voting for the traditional calendar reluctantly tonight. So, thank you.
Dr. Dahl?
I would like to say that I have long wished that we could adjust the calendar. I was very enthusiastic a few years ago when we figured we crafted a modified year-round calendar, which actually was a satisfactory calendar, only to have that shot down, I believe, by the General Assembly before we could implement it. However, I'm a strong believer that it's my duty to obey the law, and I have in front of me the Code of Ethics for school board members. And the very first thing is the need to obey all applicable state and federal laws regarding official actions taken as a board member. And, one of the things that we have to do as school board members is follow policy. I believe it's essential to follow the law as well. And so I will be voting to adopt the calendar that complies with the law as it is today, with the understanding that if the law changes, we can revisit the calendar.
Mr. Bimley? All right, yes, I agree with all of those that spoke and their comments, and we've been suffering with this for decades. It is harmful to children and parents with that lull of time between Christmas and the exams. This is a nonpartisan issue, and not only is the Senate bill like a carrot, it's really hurtful in its with its idea, because one of the other things that it might have repercussion is that it would remove the Board of Education local governance. So that puts a really hard knot in my stomach.
Wait, I'm sorry, could you say it again?
That it could remove the Board of Education as a local governing body. It would take away.
It empowers the bureaucratic state without any action.
We have got to continue to advocate, our public needs to continue to advocate for a fair calendar law that our school districts can follow and implement. And I appreciate all the time of our parents and community members for giving us the feedback. I appreciate, our team for working hard to gather that information for us. And it just breaks my heart that we have to have this conversation. We need to do what's best for kids, and that's the bottom line. So at this time, are there any other comments?
Just one
Yes, sir.
comment. I was just looking up to see the total number of survey responses, 943. It'll take just about the amount of time to fill that survey out as it would to contact your legislator. And I think that would be a smart move. If you feel moved to fill out the survey, feel moved enough to contact your legislators.
Yes, sir.
So 993 respondents, which is like amazing response for a survey. I mean, we depressingly do like a school budget, and we get like 2 responses or something, right? But out of those 993, my recollection, they were overwhelmingly for the early start calendar, right? So that leads me to my first thing, right, is if Republicans, in a couple of years, if they sit back and wonder why they lost the General Assembly or the Senate, it's because this is not a bipartisan issue. This is the education of our children. And we had the biggest response we've ever had to a survey, and it was overwhelmingly in support of this. So, in a year or so, when everyone's looking back going, gosh, why did the Republicans lose the General Assembly? It's because one person bows to the tourism lobby and kowtows all the other senators and makes them do this stuff, really just provide child labor to the tourism industry. To the point that Ms. Dahl brought about obeying the law, that's absolutely correct. And, this is a tough issue, and there's nothing wrong with voting for the law, right? I'm going to choose not to, but, there's absolutely nothing wrong with following the law. I do want to point out, though, and I was remiss in doing this before, there's a great bill in the House that was introduced in time, championed by our representative, which actually truly fixes this. So if we want this fixed, then people need to reach out to the House and Senate. And I've asked the Pilot editorial staff for years to write an editorial on this, but they're too busy making ad hominem attacks rather than the editorial board, that is, making ad hominem attacks rather than address something and do a call to action to citizens that would actually positively contribute to the education of. I've asked the Pilot editorial board to do that for 3 years from this microphone, and they've refused to join us, which is repulsive. But anyway, there's a great bill in the House, and if that passes, this issue's behind us, and we can do our best to educate our children, which is our fiduciary responsibility. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Just let me repeat, all those in favor of the motion to adopt the traditional calendar, which follows General Statute Law 115C-84.2, North Carolina Calendar Law, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, 5-2 passes. All right. So we're at
Chair,
items-
I
yes,
would
ma'am.
like to request a point of personal privilege.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to put this out to our teachers and counselors and principals and everybody involved, our community. I have recently become involved with an organization called Sleep in Heavenly Peace. They build twin beds for children in Moore County who have been sleeping on the floor. So far, they have donated over 400 beds. It's really hard for me to believe that we actually have children in Moore County that don't have a bed. Most beds went to Southern Pines. The beds are all twin size, but they will make bunk beds. The pillows, the sheets, the blankets, all the bedding is provided, and it's all brand new. There is nothing secondhand that is used. The ladies group that I belong to just had a bedding drive, and I think we raised enough for about 200 beds. So if anyone knows of anybody, our principals, our counselors, our social workers, I am putting this out for you. They do have a website. No child should be sleeping on the floor. This is absolutely unbelievable. I just can't even believe that they've made 400 beds so far. So I just wanted to put that out. So thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mrs. Bruno. We're at item 7, our superintendent's report. Do you have anything to share?
Just a few items, Madam Chair. Happy to report one of our signature showcases, our elementary robotics and middle school robotics competition, elementary robotics showcase, celebrated its 10th year this year. This is really, Moore County Schools has really been leading the state in this, and it's one of the best and early examples of computer science education in North Carolina. The elementary showcase teams and competitive middle school teams demonstrated their skills on May 2nd and May 9th, respectively. Both of those events held at Pinecrest High School. The elementary is so big, it's in a huge gym, and it's just full of people, a buzz with the energy. Middle school a little smaller in the auxiliary gym. This year, the challenges featured STEM through the ages. The students did a great job, and I just want to thank the members of the board who attended and supported that and cheered the students on. It was a great event, so appreciate that. Also, it's worth noting, last week we celebrated Teacher Appreciation Week across Moore County Schools. This was the time to honor the dedication and passion of our teachers who inspire and shape the futures of our students. We know they do that each and every day. Our teachers are certainly the heart of our district. They embody the excellence of Moore County Schools, and we greatly appreciate their tireless efforts both in and outside of the classroom, because we know many of our teachers spend a great deal of time outside of the classrooms working to support student success. Also want to take a second to thank our parent support organizations and community organizations, businesses who just shower our schools with food and ways to show their appreciation for our teachers. So I just want to say thank you to them. And teachers, thank you for the incredible impact you make each and every day. On Friday, I had the opportunity, along with Principals Kim Coe and Dr. Michelle Bennett, to accept the Purple Star District Award in Raleigh, and accepted that for the 5th year in a row. This award and recognition highlights our district-wide commitment to supporting our military-connected students and families. We know how fortunate we are to have a large military-connected community, and we certainly want to do all we can to support those military-connected families. And I just want to thank all of our schools, all 23, who committed to following through on training and commit to follow through on our systems and processes to support those families. So it's great to be able to celebrate that on Friday. And lastly, last Tuesday, we had the opportunity to celebrate 44 retirees at our annual retirement celebration and reception. That's always a great celebration, certainly for them. But it was a great celebration with lots of laughter and shared memories. And there was one word that kept resonating with me the whole evening, and that was impact. Those 44 retirees represent over 800 years of service to our public schools, our students, and our community. And we're just so grateful for all of them, and we wish them all a healthy and enjoyable next adventure. That's all I have to share tonight, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're at item 8, board comments. Anyone like to share a comment tonight? Mr.
Please.
Benway?
Last week at our work session, the Union Pines Naval Junior ROTC presented a command overview briefing to us, presented by the students. I think anybody who was here was really impressed with the outcome of that briefing. These students are the product of a great program. If you get the opportunity, dial it up on video and take a look at it. I think you'll be very impressed. On the 21st of May, they will conduct the change of command down on the ball field at Union Pines at 9 o'clock. If you come up for that one, you'll be impressed with that one too. Great program. Pauline and I will visit Northmore High School on Friday. That'll be the last of our several visits for the year to the various schools. Looking forward to getting up there. We're trying to put together a foundation committee meeting before May is out. We're still trying to sort out some of the dates there. Lacking that, we'll try to get it done late June, early July. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Bruno?
Okay. First, I was so impressed with Alyssa Likens. Yes, the girl that got the awards tonight. there is nothing that girl can't do, and I was so impressed.
She
with
left
her.
nothing for anyone else.
What?
She left nothing for anyone else.
Oh my gosh.
She just took
did.
everything.
She was just amazing. I want to congratulate our robotics team. I want every one of our teachers to know that we honor them, we love them, and we respect them. Congratulations to all our retirees. You will be missed. And I want to follow up with what Ken Benway said about the Junior Navy ROTC from Union Pines. They were absolutely fabulous. What a great program that is. I want to thank them for coming.
Could I add one thing?
Yes.
There's an equivalent program over there on the Air Force side of the house at Pinecrest High School. Superb program as well. Thank you.
All right, anyone else?
I was just glad. I was watching the last work session, by the way. I just couldn't make it, and we didn't need me for a quorum. But I was just impressed how many marine options there were in the Naval ROTC. Just
Speaks to your heart. All right, yes, Dr. Dahl.
In the wake of Teacher Appreciation Week, I just wanted to extend my thanks and my appreciation to all our teachers. I understand how hard you work and how much you give to our students. Ask me how I know. And again, I thank you and I appreciate you.
Very good. Mr. Johnson, Ms. Davis. Okay.
Well, just so ditto all that. I've crossed off several things off my list. The ROTC was just amazing. Thank you, Ken, for having them come out here. I love to see the programs our students are doing, and I think it's good for the public to see that as well. The retirement folks, I also want to mention the TA banquet that we had, because our teacher assistants are so vital to the school district. I, as a teacher, would not have made it very far without my TAs when I was a younger man. One thing that was not mentioned was just a thank you to our county commissioners for receiving us and our budget at their meeting last week. Was really glad to see the presentation by our staff. They did an excellent job. And last but not least, just about the robotics, just proud of the team for carrying that on and also improving it every single year. So that's all.
Thank you, sir. All right, thank you to our board members and our staff for an enjoyable and productive meeting tonight. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Again, congratulations to our employees and our students who were recognized tonight. Thank you to our student leaders from West End Elementary for leading us in the pledge and inspiring us. Our Teacher Appreciation Week was an excellent time, and our Teacher Assistant Week, we extend our gratitude to the Moore County Schools community and others who took the time to send our teachers a note or a gift of appreciation. Congratulations to all the students and teachers who participated in the robotics events. The competition was rigorous and a great example of the effectiveness of communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. I also want to point out that we celebrated our very first Moore Teacher Scholar, Alyssa Mabe from Union Pines High School. She is our very first Grow Your Own, which is a partnership with Moore County Schools, Sand Hills Community College, and UNC Pembroke. It's been a tremendous honor to participate in our recent celebrations and banquets to honor our students, our teachers, and staff, and we will soon celebrate promotions and graduations in June. Thank you all for being here tonight, and at this time, we need to move back to closed session. Do we have a motion to move to closed session? Do we have a second? Oh, yes,
yeah,
sir.
just a quick comment, just to make it clear, we don't expect to conduct any business when we come back.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Anderson, we will need to approve, openly approve the appeals decisions. Is that correct, Ms. Skeens, or is that approved in closed session? So no business when we come out. I'm corrected. Thank you.
Thank you for all the help.
You were correct, Mr. Anderson. My apologies.
Well, either way, I just wanted to make sure we know the plan.
Who seconded to move to closed session? Do we have a second? Second. All right, Ms. Bruno, all in favor say aye. Aye. All right, we'll move into closed session.